Hello everybody, this is Ashley Jamerson coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina, and today I want to do a quick question and answer session. These are questions that I received from YouTube via text message, email, on my website. Just a few questions, and I'll do this every now and then. So please submit your questions anytime and see if your question gets answered. The first question is, what happens if the house does not appraise for the purchase price? If the house is not appraised for the purchase price, you have a few options, and the options that are available to you basically depends on the type of loan that you are using. If you are using an FHA VA loan, the house has to appraise for that price. You actually sign an FHA VA addendum that the seller also signs when the offer becomes a contract that says that the house must appraise. If the house does not appraise for that value, then your only option really is to renegotiate the price, and hopefully the seller has some wiggle room and the appraised price and the purchase price wasn't completely far off where the ends can be met and the deal doesn't die. I've had a couple of situations, especially recently, because it's a seller's market and we get stuck in these highest and best offer situations, and it drives the price up, and the seller is like, yay, I got more than asking, my agent rocks. And then when we get to the appraisal, we have to renegotiate the price closer to what it was listed at. So definitely keep that in mind. Just because the house doesn't appraise doesn't mean that the deal is over. If you have a conventional loan or if you're paying cash, then you do have the option of bringing the difference to the closing table. If it's cash, of course, there is no difference to bring, but if you're doing a conventional loan, you do have the option to bring that difference in. I don't recommend it because in my mind, I'm thinking that the buyer is upside down going into the house, and that's like a little bit scary in my opinion. So that's, if your house does not appraise, then we just renegotiate and pray that the seller has that wiggle room. What happens if the home inspection is just too much to handle? So basically what this buyer is referring to is, when you have your home inspection, you get back the inspection report, and these things can be like 20 to 30 pages, and it's like, this doesn't work, this is old, this is gonna die in 2 years, this is terrible. And it's basically like the worst thing that can happen to an already scary buyer. But no home is perfect, not even a brand new construction house. I've had buyers have an inspection on a new construction home and they still found problems with the house, which is like, wow. But luckily with new construction, it's so much more easier to negotiate those repairs. So basically when you have a home inspection, you get back this report, and myself and the buyer will get together and we will decide what are the most important things that need to be fixed by the buyer. And when the buyer receives that repair request, they have the option to say yes, no, or we'll do some of it. If they say yes, then the next step is to get a general contractor in there and start getting some quotes together, and try to find a few general contractors to give these quotes. So you give like a fair asking price for the repairs, or you give them the option to have the repairs completed. I always ask that they're completed by a general contractor and not their husband on a Saturday, unless their husband is a general contractor. If they say no, then the buyer has to do some soul searching and decide if they still want the house. Technically, every house is sold as is. It's in the contract, but they do give you the option to do inspections and request repairs. The maybe or the sum of it is, sometimes they'll do all the major components like the HVAC, the electricity, and the plumbing, but they will not fix things like a wobbly fan or a wobbly stair rail and things like that. Those would be things that the buyer would have to decide whether or not they feel comfortable doing after they take possession of the house. So these two questions are more so pertaining to a buyer, but I work with tons of buyers here in the area, and if you are a buyer who is thinking about purchasing a home in Charlotte, Huntersville, Concord, or Mooresville, please give me a call, 980-319-3664, or you can visit my website, www.charlottesbestrealestate.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.